Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're going to be watching the 1966 experimental Belgium film, The Man Who Had His Hair Cut Short. To be frank, I don't really know very much about this film. I'm under the impression that it's an experimental film. It's directed by it's directed by Andre Delvaux and is based off of a 1947 novel by Johann Daisne? I was actually supposed to watch this back in February as a part of a mini trilogy or series on films about love. But, here we are in insert month here. The movie is about a teacher who falls in love with one of his students, and I guess experimental hilarity ensues. I've been on a kind of enjoyable black and white kick recently. Carnival of Souls, that was really good. Never Take Sweets from a Stranger, that was really, really good. Cast a Dark Shadow, which was really, really, really good. So I'm kind of in a black and white mood right now. So yeah, let's watch The Man Who Got His Hair Cut Short, or De Man die Zichen Hairkut Liet Nippen. Anyways, I think you can watch this on YouTube if you can find it. So go for that. So it's gotta be a blonde. Do we see lots of brunette temptresses in film? There must be, but I feel like it's lacking. I feel something when I see you. I used to light you up. Now I can't even get you. He doesn't really look like he needs a haircut. It's a nice collection of books. That's like a quarter Beauty and the Beast. You really shouldn't. I'm just telling you this, regardless of age. You as a professor shouldn't be telling your student how much you're in love with them, especially while they're still your student. This seems like it would be a better idea after they've graduated.
Jawel, meester. Mensen als u die met het hoofd werken moeten dat speciaal laten verzorgen.
Ik heb het graag, kort. Het is fris in de regen en de wind.
En nog veel gelijk.
Dat kan niet. Spreekt alsmaar over zenuwen, schrijft me tabletten voor. Ik verkies natuurlijke middelen.
I wonder if they're gonna establish his mental or physical health as a kind of a barrier or impediment that he doesn't realize as the movie progresses. You know, the back of his I just got a haircut, and I'm also not a haircut guy. I'm not very interested in that stuff, but it doesn't look like the back of his hair was cut that cleanly.
Het is een vibromassagetoestel. Het lijkt zomaar een vulgaire gummiknobbel, maar het is het kunstigste.
I almost fell asleep getting a haircut today. This is interesting. I don't know if I chose this subconsciously or not. I think back on that scene in Mad Men when Roger Sterling takes Don Draper out for a shave to help calm his nerves and stuff. I really don't think of getting a haircut as that kind of meditative treatment or experience, but I guess it affords some men the opportunity. If you're a work of art. This hall monitor. That kid's gonna be a cop someday. I like the 60s fashion in this movie. He's not well liked by by the faculty. Bips.
Euphrasia Veenman.
My dude, she looks like a normal girl. I think you're thinking too heavily on this.
Kijk mij aan, Fran. Alsjeblieft. Fran, kijk mij aan.
No. No. We're not happy with this humpert shit.
Kijk mij aan, Fran, alsjeblieft, Fran. Kijk mij aan, nu. Het is onze laatste dag, Fran. Je weet het, Fran. Jij weet het, hoe ik van je hou. Je weet het.
Does she? How does she feel about it? She did it! And then we're gonna have trouble for the rest of this movie. From that one look. My boy's sweaty. He really doesn't look like he got that much of a haircut, besides getting his sideburns trimmed. Oh, another movie with this kind of soundtrack was Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. Beautiful, beautiful soundtrack to that film. Beautiful film in general. When was Lolita written? Because the novel that this is based on is from 1947. I feel like Lolita's like a 50s book, right? Yeah, 1955.
Nu zingt Franny Veeman de ballade van het werkelijke leven.
Symbolic. A little topical.
Morgen komt kan erger zijn. Wat vroeger was, weet niemand meer. Met de schelde mee naar wolken oog. Waartoe dit leven? Waarheen dit leven?
I kind of liked how slow that cross was. In a normal movie, I think it would be a little bit more flowy, and I don't know. It was just nice to have little obstacles show a little bit of his timidity, and actually crossing the threshold to observe his love. You can tell she's a seductress because she's the only girl wearing eyeshadow or eyeliner. I don't know women's makeup.
Ik zocht Franny Veeman. Ik had haar dit boek willen geven.
Oh, ik zal het er geven, meneer.
Nee, dat jullie allemaal weer tracteren vanavond.
It's a little bit silent filmish, the way they use the music to communicate the interior state of Govert. But it's also like diegetic music. It's a good blend. The non-diegetic theme, the song that's playing like in his head as he's all contemplative and shit, is so sentimental.
Fran, je was te mooi voor mij.
Okay, she wasn't all that. I get how you feel, but she wasn't all that. Ooh, that sounds a little bit like the Secret of Milo theme.
Mijn assistent, dokter Verbrugge, meneer Miereveld.
We moeten onderzoeken of de dode mogelijk slachtoffer is geweest van manslag en nogmaals proberen zijn identiteit vast te stellen. Volstaat het tandengebit om die identiteit vast te stellen. Het
So I
bloed
guess
draait niet op zichzelf
they're
als een spin.
establishing that
Deze
he's kind
spatter,
of
maar heeft een
uncomfortable with
alternatieve
physicality to a certain degree.
Kom heren, ik geloof dat het tijd wordt.
People just used to move at a different pace back in the day. Full ass scene of just watching the wind blow across the bay.
Kist op de tafel alsjeblieft.
This is a cool little scene. I wasn't really expecting something of this nature, but performing an autopsy outdoors before a burial. Not really what I expected in my weird pining unrequited love movie. But you know, fun. We get a little bit of Clarice Starling. What an odd scene. This is the sort of thing where, like, I can tell you what the map of the plot would be for this, like where this should lead to, other than to say, like, in a short amount of time he's gonna meet up Fran again. But as to how that's related to this, it's a cool little scene. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I guess there's just like this. There's this soft sense of like doom or danger that looms over this movie. Makes it just a hint more hostile than, you know, a desperate love story. This is what it's like to hang out with other guys. Watching an autopsy being conducted at a cemetery while you're obliged to watch out of a sense of professional obligation.
Het spijt me voor u, want u hebt vandaag geen trein meer om terug te keren.
You've gotten pulled into this endless web. It's like the beginning of a David Lynch movie or a film noir. He's just been trapped by fate down a careening path to his own destruction.
Heb je het lijk nog?
Ja, een beetje ja.
Zo is het met ons vroeger ook gegaan. Maar na een tijdje ben je daar zo aan dat je volstrekt niks meer ruikt.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of, dude.
In het begin lijkt het allemaal heel erg. Omdat u nog te veel aan de mens denkt. Later, en tamelijk vlug, ga je er wetenschappelijk tegenover staan. En vind je tenslotte helemaal niet zo griezelig meer. Integendeel, je ontdekt de schoonheid ervan.
Okay, Dr. Frankenstein.
En dat gat in de rug? Denkt u dat er manslag is geweest?
Is moeilijk uit te maken. Ik ben er zelfs niet zeker van dat het een schotwond was. Ja, de natuur is wel taai.
En tevens zo broos.
Meneer Miereveld.
Oh, dankjewel.
Tot straks, Miereveld.
Ja, tot. Juffrouw Veenman. Ik mag toch Fran zeggen, niet?
Zeker, meneer Miereveld, natuurlijk.
Govert. Godfried.
Govert.
Als u wil.
Graag. Niet zo rusteloos als Miereveld. Roland Wetzler, een impresario. Een oud-leraar, meester Miereveld.
Impresario, is she like a singer now?
Misschien hebt u gelezen in de krant van die bankloper die verdwenen is, een paar maanden geleden. Er was een lijk aangespoeld, maar het was zijn...
It's not good at all at making conversation.
Excuseer me dat ik u hierover spreek. Het is ook zo lang geleden dat wij elkaar gezien hebben.
This is the sort of stuff I say when I'm trying to impress a girl. Damn, man, he's sweating in his day suit. He's got his fucking pens in there. Damn, man. Damn, this is just tragic.
Maar de dame met wie u stond te praten is toch Franny Veen?
Franny Veenman. Kent u Franny Veen?
Weet u of mevrouw Veen hier vanavond optreedt in de
I like the little kind of,
Als u dan zo vriendelijk wil zijn.
what's her boy's name?
A new world was being forged, and Turner, more than any other painter, captured what it felt like to
What's her
be
boy's
there.
name? Like J.M. Turner-ish painting in the background. The rough seas describing Govert's mood.
Een wondermooie vrouw. Schoonheid, vlees
Don't say that.
geworden. Waar zetelt dat schoonheidsprincipe? De ziel in zo'n vrouw.
Literally never heard a man
Er
say
zijn in
that.
yoga verscheidene trappen der zaligheid.
Is this how
Eigenaardig
dudes
is
used to
het
talk
voor het
about stuff?
tantrisme. Maar waar zetelt de ziel dan in Franny Veen?
His boss seems a bit peculiar. I don't know. I feel like next week he's gonna try and enlist Govert into like a swingers club. He seems very, very continental. I won't say like this movie is like obviously like aggressively paced or anything, but it does manage to convey like a lot of the kind of interior engine of Govert without like doing too much. This is the kind of like inhibited and reclusive kind of character study that I think like, I don't know, if you like Charlie Kaufman movies, this is the kind of movie that you'd like. In not such a repulsive way, he's definitely kind of reminiscent of the characters like David Thewlis's character in Anomalisa or Caden Cotard. Yeah, I guess he had second thoughts.
Miereveld.
No. Absolutely not.
meneer Miereveld.
Oh, geen erg. Ja, dan ga ik maar naar bed. Of misschien in het vakje van juffrouw Veeman zelf, als je eens wil kijken. Ik weet haar nummer niet.
I know this
Het nummer
poison of
van,
a
juffrouw
mind.
Venus 21.
My dude, you gotta not. Yeah, he definitely has like a, you know, about on the verge of going crazy kind of look about him. They're managing to convey like a lot of like anxiety and desperation in him through very, very minimal interactions or actions. He's just like exuding this nervous energy without doing too much. It's actually a really good look, and having him in this like boxy suit that seems too big on him, he seems so like juvenile and and out of his element. You know, you might call it a reserve, but I am liking this actor's performance. He's pulling out a lot out of a very, very small performance. Sene Ruffer.
Tot straks, heeft ze gezegd.
You can't do this, man.
Wilde ze misschien in de Schouwburg.
This does seem also like a little bit like, in terms of the Charlie Kaufman connection, a little bit Michel Gondry-ish. It seems like all of the furniture, like, and his clothes, and the china, it all just seems like a little bit too big for him. What is that sound? Is that just like a scratch in the soundtrack? It's like an itch you can't scratch. I'm actually really enjoying how little they're giving you and making you feel just this slight excitement and irritation that's a manifestation of his nervousness. Are we in Joker now? Has he gone full Arthur Fleck? I'm really liking how slow this is, actually. It feels really, I don't know, eerie, and yet, like, comfortable and harmless. But it's like, kind of like, by being comforting and harmless, it's creeping in on you. Slowly but surely. It's very, very eerie.
Fran. Laat ik je alles nog eens zeggen, Fran. Dat ik altijd van je gehouden heb. En je niet ontmoeten. Terwijl hoe mooi je bent, Fran. Je schoonheid is een wonder. Dat wel een lichamelijk begin heeft.
And a spiritual end.
Maar niet op een bepaalde plaats in jouw lichaam schuilt.
These interesting projections that they have about this woman and her beauty. I mean, I won't say that I'm like, you know, not guilty of it, but saying she's so beautiful that you can't even perceive where her soul resides, that her beauty transcends the limits of physicality. It's a little much.
Laat me heel even maar in je gouden licht. Is een moedige.
I don't think they're trying to portray Govert as a good guy, obviously, but I do think there are, like, there are lines or divisions between him and a character like Humpert. He doesn't seem like, I don't know, he seems pretty obvious and not entirely like manipulative or domineering in the same way that a classic film pedophile would be. And he's not like a pedophile in this instance. Fran is an adult woman, but his obsession with her is, I think, portrayed as a bit juvenile.
Zie je, heb ik niets kunnen zeggen, Fran. Begrijp je dat nou? Waarom heb ik niet geknield? Dat alles weegt me zo, Fran. Ik ben zo moe. Ik zou voor altijd willen insluimeren.
Ik weet het, Govert. Ik begrijp je ook best. Ik voelde wel hoe belangrijk het voor je was en je hebt niets gezegd. Die tijd voor ons beiden was toch zo mooi. Dat ik het nu toch mag beleven. Ik heb van je gehouden, Govert. Ook al wist het niet, Govert. Ik ben zo gelukkig dat ik het nog niet geloven kan. Dat zo'n volmaakte liefde kon bestaan.
Wow.
Dat ze bestaat.
This is the power of formal education.
Jij was zeker nooit zelfzuchtig. Schoonheid gaat steeds gepaard met goedheid.
That's an interesting thought. You know, I wouldn't have fantasized it any differently. If only all relationships were this easy.
Govert, ik ben je de waarheid schuldig. Je hebt me nu eenmaal een vraag gesteld, ik zal je antwoorden. Ik mag je die ontgoocheling niet sparen, je zult me beter begrijpen. Ik zal je 3 voorwerpen laten zien.
You've been served. I'm a notary. You've been served. I don't want this to take an old boy turn. If this takes an old boy turn, I'm gonna go nuts.
Vader heeft het me cadeau gedaan.
She's the
Toen ik
killer?
van huis ben gegaan, weggejaagd door hem. Is er niet in geslaagd vaders lijk op te halen. Ik wou bij het opgeven van zijn signalementen geen bijzonderheden treden. Een zuster van hem scheen er meer van te weten dan ik zelf. Maar ik heb haar verklaring verscheurd omdat er iets in stond van 4 tandvullingen en 2 ontbrekende kiezen. En van een oude breuk van het linker onderbeen waar niemand hoogte kon van hebben. Aangezien vader nooit heeft gehinkt. Pardon, Govert. Ik had het je niet moeten vertellen. Die lijkschouwing vanmiddag heeft je zo ontsteld.
This is taking some turns that I was not anticipating in the least.
Je weet toch hoe jij op school bent gekomen? Waarom heb je nooit kunnen raden? Ik moet bekennen dat ze het geheim mooi bewaard hebben, de school, het stadsbestuur en Freke. Weet je nog? Feiten zijn feiten.
This is a better twist than I'm thinking of ending
Ik heb van
things.
Brandink gehouden. Brandink, natuurlijk. Ja, ik hield van Brandink. En eigenlijk is Brandink maar de eerste geweest. Brandink de eerste van allen die me hebben aanbeden en verwend.
This do be happening in guys' heads, though. I will say, short of Hitchcock, this is perhaps one of the most like concise turns from Madonna to whore.
Nu weet ik wat het betekent, waartoe vader het heeft bestemd. Zie je wel wat voor een arm broer en zusterpaar wij vormen, Govert?
Wat zei?
Ja, ik heb veel mannen gekend. Ik heb van allen gehouden. Ik hield van Branding. Er straalde van vader een duistere kracht uit. Waar zit je nog naar te zoeken, Govert? Zoek niet, Govert. Ja, je weet, mijn beeld is een bedrog.
Is this like Charlie Kaufman's favorite movie?
Misschien blijf je zoeken, Govert.
Has he just been pondering on the man who had his hair cut short this entire time?
Brandink was maar de eerste. Naar die illusie niet zoeken, Govert. Leef je bestaan van verzuchting en vertwijfeling voor.
Jesus, God.
Gepletterd door je opgekropte pijn.
Wow. This has gone in a very, 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 very different direction than I anticipated.
Help me, Govert, alsjeblieft. Govert, begrijp wat mijn vader wilde. Het is wonderlijk dat jij mij uitgeleide doet.
Oh my God. She's gonna shoot her.
Goedheid en liefde, Govert.
Govert, what is going on in your head?
Govert. Govert.
Govert, where does her soul reside?
Govert. Godfried.
Wow. This movie is amazing. What is this movie?
Nog niks gevonden? Nee.
What is this movie?
Niks.
Did I just watch Antichrist? If it were made in 1966? What? What?
Fran, iedereen van ons naar Christus vertelt ons wat over de rol van Veva, die een enorm succes is geworden en die ze in onze stad heeft gecreëerd. Hoe dikwijls hebt u die rol van Veva in onze stad gespeeld?
7 maal.
Hoeveel vertoningen geeft u nog?
She seems a little... I mean, in my eyes, she seems a little young to play Phaedra, but...
En dan heb ik Fran niet vermoord. Dan heeft het schot haar niet gedood. Dan is hij stout.
Inderdaad, Godfried.
His hair is shorter now, though.
Schijnt mij altijd zo diffuus. Ik zie de waarheid 2, 3-dubbel. Maar die diffuusheid, daarin precies geloof ik. Er is altijd iets broos in me, diep binnenin me. Waardoor ik behoefte voel om mezelf van buitenuit te bekijken. Dan wordt alles duidelijk. Maar dan ben ik een ander. Dan is ik een ander.
What? I literally never feel this watching a Charlie Kaufman movie, but that feeling that you feel watching a Charlie Kaufman movie is what I am feeling watching this over and over and over again.
Ik had vanaf de aanvang nederig moeten zijn. En de aarde bewerken. Zachte planten helpen leven en helpen sterven. En hout kerven. Om het te laten worden waartoe de Heer het bestemd heeft.
A chair.
Een krukje. Een meubeltje voor jou, Cora. Als mijn stomme bijdrage in de huishouding. En voor Cathy en Does. Voor mijn kinderen. Voor later. Wanneer ze groot zullen zijn en gelukkig. Wanneer ook zij zullen weten. En terugdenken. En die mislukkeling die hun vader was. Cora.
My guy. I'm sympathetic to your mindset. I wish you the best. And with that Kabiri ending too. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. Much of that escaped me. As I hope it will for you too, because you obviously need to see this movie. This was incredible. Just like brimming with energy and understatedness and confusion. And I mean, I think like still like amidst that confusion, a pretty engaging portrait, like the rough outline of a man who lives passively through his life and feels like his when he does act, it's out of selfishness or desperation, and the kind of like footprint or effect he leaves on the world is one of negativity. Such an interesting approach to a passive character. It's a really hard archetype to get right in film, obviously, and I guess like the best example we have these days is like the Charlie Kaufman character, But like, yeah, I mean, like, really interesting, kind of self-flagellating, self-doubting, guilty, shameful, deeply unhappy character. And I guess, like, if The Last Shot can be seen as a little bit of a nod to Cabiria, this movie is also conceptualizing a lot of ideas in the same vein as, like, Eight and a Half or La Dolce Vita, like, trying to unearth the interior monologue of an incredibly, like, passive or reluctant character. This is just really good. I don't know, there's like aspects of it that I think that are true to parts of like male experience and how men, like, or at least men with a certain kind of like binary relationship with women, kind of like perceive those women and interact with those women and fantasize about those women. I don't want to get too weird about it either, but I'm kind of like conceptualizing this as like a post-war narrative and being about the feelings of like hopelessness or impotence or loss of resolve that individuals or people felt after the war, and this kind of like postmodern haze that we're like moving through and existing through, where no concepts seem concrete and nothing seems like it can be resolved, and we're just like ineffectual in shaping or defining or controlling the circumstances around us. What a strange movie. Really good. I found it really affecting. Yeah, I don't know. I think you should go watch this. I think this will be on YouTube. If you're a fan of Charlie Kaufman's work, or, you know, late stage Fellini, I think this is a really interesting movie to like get your dirty mitts on and see what it brings up in you. You should watch this movie. I'd very much recommend it. There's interesting questions that it's bringing up about kind of the corporeal body, about the existence of the soul, of self-perception, the limits of identity and disassociation, and just like, yeah, in a kind of vague post-war, postmodern kind of way, in what way truth exists. Yeah, this is a cool movie. Check it out. I gotta think about this one a little bit more. This is a good one. Yeah, that was the man who had his hair cut short. I really enjoyed it. I'm buzzing a little. It gave me a lot more than I was expecting. Fuck! If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and subscribe to see more weird shit like this. Yeah, watch this one and keep watching good movies. Fuck!